Hi there, everybody, and welcome back to the Country Music Time Machine. This is your old pal Kevin, and I'm fixing to talk about something that often confuses people: the language we use in the southern part of the U.S. of A. Yes, you Yankees out there often have no idea what we're saying. We've got a lot of viewers all over the world, and sometimes when you hear these country songs, they may not even know what the English means. Maybe that's the plan us Southerners have had all along, to fool the Yankees. Maybe that's it. But seriously, quite often you hear multiple Southern sayings in country music songs. Multiple viewers of the Country Music Time Machine have reached out to me to comment on country songs with sayings that confuse them. Since I am your country music professor and son of the South, I will now educate you on some country slang. First off, I want to give you a little bit of background on me. I was not born in the South. I was born in California, spent my first few years in Japan, and then was raised in good old South Carolina. My mom is from South Kakalaki, that's another Southern slang, and my dad is from Alabama, but he's not from Floribama, so that's something different altogether. After I was raised on a farm in South Carolina, because of my job, I've traveled worldwide for the past 23 years and now speak a lot of Spanish, Portuguese, even a little bit of Russian. So speak a little bit of everything. And you wonder why my brain is so fried. That probably is why. Let's go ahead and run down some of that amazing Southern slang and what it all means. We kick it off with full as a tick. This is when you've indulged in a hearty Southern meal, complete with cornbread, collard greens, pecan pie, and if I'm in South Carolina, chicken bog. Oh God, I love chicken bog. It's the greatest dish on earth. You're likely full as a tick if you ever try chicken bog. It's that delicious. This vivid phrase accurately describes a state of extreme fullness. So if you eat a great meal, even if you are a Yankee, and they want to give you more, just say, sorry, I'm full as a tick. The next slang phrase was used by my grandma many times, usually when she was trying to keep me out of trouble. With me, she was often madder than an old wet hen. Have you ever observed a wet hen? I have, and it's not fun. Madder than a wet hen is a serious level of anger. The internet says farmers used to dunk their hens to calm them down when they became broody. I don't trust everything I see on the internet, and this one is not true in my experience. You want to piss off a hen? You get them wet. They don't like it. They don't usually like anything anyway. The next slang I've often heard in church as a young boy, yet more than one older lady said to me this: bless your heart. While it can be used sincerely, bless your heart often carries a subtle edge in Southern culture. It's frequently accompanied by a good-natured, perhaps slightly exasperated shake of the head. It can express empathy, judgment, or even mask genuine feelings. In my case, they would often be referring to my intelligence level. It's like when I'm on the golf course and I'm taking a swing, my friends look at me and say, oh, bless his heart. In some ways, it's just a subtle way of saying you're an idiot. This next one I often see overused, especially on old TV westerns that I like to watch. Hankering. And I'll say it like we say it, hankering. When you have a hankering for something, you're craving it intensely. For example, you might have a hankering for chicken bog from South Carolina. Now, don't get this confused with hunkering or hunkering. I was hunkering down a lot in Baghdad in 2007. That's what we did in the duck and cover bunker after the evening call to prayers from the nearest mosque. A good example of hankering is this: I have a hankering to watch 1990 Shania Twain music videos. and I would watch old Shania until the cows come home. And that's our next fine Southern expression. This Southern saying suggests that something will take a very long time, perhaps all day. Cows are known to move at a very leisurely pace and poop everywhere. Just ask my sister down the road in Smith County, Tennessee. Those cows move a little and poop a lot. I promise you. So waiting till the cows come home is a metaphor for a lengthy duration. Well, I opened up the episode with this one, fixin' to. This phrase is as Southern as sweet tea. And God, that's something else I love, sweet tea. But every time I drink sweet tea, I pop out kidney stones. So it's been many years since I've enjoyed that Southern delicacy. When you're fixin' to do something, it means you intend to do it, but you may also take your time. I am fixing to lose a lot of balls on the golf course. And for me and my game, that is a common occurrence. The next Southern saying is very personal to me, hill of beans. Here's a story for you. I once dated a beautiful girl back when I was a teenager, long ago before cell phones and computers even. I think I was her planned stepladder to success. After she noticed that I could not buy her much due to my low wages at the low-paying radio stations I worked at, she said to me, "Kevin, you aren't going to amount to a hill of beans." Well, my dear, I think your husband is still bagging groceries over at the Winn-Dixie, so I think I proved you wrong. In the South, a hill of beans is a unit of measurement for something of little value. We had many hills of beans on the farm, and it took many hills to fill a pot. So whether you're discussing quantity or worth, a hill of beans is insignificant. Next up is one that I just love to hear. You can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. This old Southern proverb that goes back many years means that if something starts out poor quality, it's unlikely to be improved significantly. Just in case you don't know, a sow is a female pig who has had at least 1 litter of piglets used for breeding. That leads us to our next Southern saying. In order for me to one day find a wife, I might have to get gussied up. And right now, I ain't gussied up. When you're gussied up, you're dressed in your best clothes, perhaps for a special occasion like a wedding or a church service. I am the MC of the U.S. Marine Corps birthday ball almost every year. See, I have it right here on my hoodie. Proud of it, too. So I guess I do get gussied up at least once a year, but I still haven't found a wife. Next up, we have, well, I swanee. Now, well, I swanee is a very popular saying. Especially, I've heard it more probably in Georgia and Alabama than maybe in South Carolina or Tennessee. Instead of saying I swear, Southerners often use, well, I swanee. This phrase references the Suwannee River that runs through Florida and Georgia, or you might be talking about the University of the South in Suwannee, Tennessee. Now we have a saying that does not apply to me, as I often make lots of fun of myself because it's funny and people laugh at me. Too big for his britches. And I'm not a very big guy, so I'm never going to be too big for my britches. Too big for his britches. This Southern criticism means someone has an inflated opinion of themselves. It's a way to say someone is arrogant or overconfident. And by the way, for you Yankees out there, britches is an informal, old-fashioned term for pants, or back in the colonial days, breeches. There I go, trying to do an accent again. It's not a word us Southern folks made up. We do say the word britches sometimes. Living in high cotton. Yes, that is a great song from Alabama from 1989. This phrase means living a life of luxury or comfort. It originates from the antebellum South, where high-quality cotton crops symbolized wealth and prosperity. As a boy, we had high-quality tobacco crops, and we did not find wealth or prosperity with tobacco. And finally, if you are still watching this video, thank you. You are probably 3 sheets to the wind. This is actually a nautical term used often in the South. Literally, it refers to a ship's sails being loose, causing it to rock uncontrollably. In Southern slang, it means someone is probably very drunk. I have often heard it in reference to being totally asleep. And after hearing me ramble on for so long, you might be 3 sheets to the wind, and that's probably either due to drowsiness or you are already very drunk. And if you're already very drunk or you're on that way, make sure you check out my drinking songs and country music history video. That's all we got for those Southern slangs that you now have been informed about. And trust me, this doesn't even come close to all the Southern slangs we use. There are many, many, many more. If you have a Southern slang that you hear all the time, pop it in the comments down below. Until next time, this is Kevin. I'm fixing to take off and watch some Shania Twain and later on get 3 sheets to the wind. Asleep, that is. Let's keep it country.